Today is the third Sunday of Ordinary Time, Cycle C. The prophet Malachi wrote around the year 460 BCE, after the Babylonian exile. At a time when those who ignore God seem to prosper, while the God-fearing, faithful poor were barely surviving. Many years earlier, the prophet Amos had predicted a day of the Lord when a faithful Israel would be vindicated, their blame removed, and enjoy prosperity. However, Malachi's day of the Lord was not a day of joy, but one of fire and brimstone. The righteous will be saved, and the wicked shall be destroyed. We believe in a day of judgment when all humanity will have to give an account of their lives. Yet, we are annoyed and at times jealous when the wicked enjoy prosperity in this world while we try to be faithful to Christ's teaching, struggle economically. The danger for us is that, like the faithful people during the time of Malachi, we may begin to believe that being faithful to the gospel does not have a reward. As Christians, we see Christ as the burning oven, the Son of Justice, the light of justice, whose light will burn away the wicked and raise up the faithful. The Thessalonians lived as a community, sharing all they owned in common. They combined all their resources so that no one would lack any of the basic necessities of life. Either some had become so obsessed with the day of the Lord or the return of Jesus that they stopped working and were simply lazy. St. Paul said, "Those who do not wish to work should not eat." Everyone was expected to contribute to the well-being of the community with his or her time, talent, and treasure. We do not pool or combine our resources, but each and every one of us is expected to contribute to his or her community with his or her time, talent, or treasure. Do you volunteer to help in the parish or participate in a ministry? Time. Do you offer your service or skills to help the parish or others in need in the parish? Talent. Is your weekly offering considered first fruits or the leftovers? You make a sacrificial donation to the church, or do you give what you have left over after you have satisfied not only your needs, but also your wants, treasure? As we come to the end of the liturgical calendar, our focus should be on the second coming of Christ, or the day of the Lord, or the day of judgment. When asked to comment on the magnificent decorations of the temple, Jesus downgrades the importance of worldly beauty, which does not last forever. Pope Francis has asked us to place greater emphasis on helping the needy, which gains treasure for us in heaven, than the acquisition of material goods, even if they enhance the liturgy or worldly prestige of the church. The end of an era was at hand. The Romans totally destroyed the temple in 70 CE, 40 years after Jesus' death and resurrection, and it has never been rebuilt since. This ended the sacrifice of bulls, lambs, goats in the Jewish tradition as the growth of the one sacrifice of the Mass was beginning. Jesus was able to accurately predict the events that would take place before the destruction of the temple. He was able to predict the persecution of Jewish Christians who were kicked out of the synagogue, and later the persecution of all Christians throughout the Roman Empire for the next 300 years. Bearing the siege of their lands and other property, and the loss of their titles, families, and friends. Family and friends betrayed each other, reporting the Roman authorities who were Christians, who were the Christians. The overall message of Jesus is that we have to endure persecution and persevere in our faith as we await His return. We are not unaided in our struggles. The gift of the Holy Spirit will help us to prevail in the face of overwhelming odds. The question is, are you prepared to embrace your cross for the faith of the church when it is handed to you?